Hey everybody, we're back. We're back with more unlicensed music we're probably going to get sued for. And it's another exciting episode of The Sit Down. The show about crime, organized crime, sometimes unorganized crime. Sometimes we talk about stuff it's not even crime.
Right.
Sometimes some people say you guys aren't even a mafia podcast, and I wish I didn't download this shit because it's just two idiots.
Could you guys stay on topic a little bit?
Please stay on topic. You're doing a great disservice to the memory of this this guy
This
who
great old man.
Yeah, this what's the thing? This guy who did GoFundMe scams.
Yeah. Gasoline tax scams.
Yeah, we're playing the song that was written about Matt's mother.
Hey, but she did. She was a nurse.
So she did work hard for her money.
Right.
But we're talking about it. Today we're talking about a different type of hard work. We're talking to an anonymous sex worker named Leah.
Sex worker. I think that's the first time that someone's been like full like you're a sex worker.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah. Because I'm.
You've never been called a sex worker before?
No,
it seems a little too like proper.
Term.
Like it's like a sort of a whitewashed term. Yeah.
No, I mean, I like I said, one thing I wanted to reiterate.
I'm more of an emotional support animal.
Emotional support stripper.
Yeah.
No, one of the things I just wanted to reiterate up top is that like I am super green to the industry. So
who cares?
Right.
You take off your clothes for money, and that's why we want you on the show.
I don't want to be
not getting the super jaded.
Yeah. You're not getting the, I don't have like a permanent wig on or, like that clown blush. When it gets to be like the clown blush and the wrinkles, that's when it gets to be like a real problem.
Right. Yeah. Your name's not like Pam or Ethel or somebody with like a.
No.
You're not arguing with the technical booth over how dark it is in the club.
Right. I mean, I am, but that's like for totally different reasons.
You're not Marissa Tomei in The Wrestler.
I wish. What a hottie.
Yeah.
What a timeless hottie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just here to I don't know. I don't even know. You guys texted me like 2 hours ago and I just showed up.
That's right, everybody. I have a stripper's number in my phone, bro. So all you guys who say I'm not cool, well,
take
why don't
it
you
back.
check yourself.
Yeah.
Take it
I
back.
have two strippers' numbers in my phone. So
Are they just two different ones of my numbers?
no, I know another stripper. I'm friendly with another.
I don't
girl.
believe you. You said
Her
that in the
name is-
same way that kids say that they have another girlfriend that goes to a different school.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know
my
another
stripper friend goes to
stripper,
a different school.
Well, her name is Janet, which is a weird. That's not really like a stripper name, but I guess it's kind of hot. It's like
sounds
retro hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that also her stripper name though?
That's what she.
I
told
really
me.
liked you said Ethel earlier. That's a good one.
I should do that. I should go. My name that I'll go by on
You
this
should
is
challenge.
Leah.
Yeah,
You come out in a walker,
Yeah.
right? It's like part of
Yeah.
a stage performance, and then you like ditch the walker, and then you're like, you can walk.
Well, there's bound to be some miracle boners out there somewhere.
Right.
Like,
What
there's,
if you did that? Imagine like you come out on the stage like give it up for Leah, and you come out in a wheelchair. And people are like, all right, you just jump out of the wheelchair. You're like, I'm not handicapped, boys.
people like teach me how to speak.
Some people lose their boners.
So I was like, I thought this would be a handicapped girl. Damn it!
I didn't come to
Look.
Wheels to see a girl that can walk.
Like there's a fetish for everything out there. That's
Yeah.
the thing is there's no one thing. There's like at a lot of these, especially these like underground lap dance clubs, like the
Right.
places that I work at, there are like there's
You
girls
work at
with,
an
like,
underground lap dance club.
yeah. So
And actually, we've talked, and we were talking, and like I mean, you're kind of like a typical millennial in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You have student debt, and you have three or four jobs.
Yeah.
And grinding on Japanese businessmen
Sure.
happens to be
yeah.
one of
I mean
them.
that's the
And
that's like my favorite probably.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
definitely the most bang for my buck.
Right.
Figuratively and almost literally speaking.
Wait a minute, you did we can say this. You did the logo for the show.
Yeah, you can say that. I don't
Oh,
think that gives
nice.
me away at all.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, someone did the illustration and then
Somebody did the illustration, but
tapped
you
it
did
over
the
to me.
fonts
Yeah,
and,
I
yeah.
laid it out. So I do. I have I mean, anyone who knows me and is listening to this will know who I am. But
Right.
I do.
You just don't want your parents to.
I just don't want my parents to find out. They'd feel so bad. I'm just
They
trying
would.
to avoid a big guilt circle.
Right.
But I have a corporate job.
Matt's
right?
mom doesn't know he's a podcaster.
Oh my God, I'm
She
so
thinks
sorry.
he's got a 6-figure job with health insurance.
Oh my God.
And she doesn't know that he gets yelled at twice a week.
She does-
He gets called gay twice a week.
Right.
For
Only
200 bucks a month.
twice?
Yeah.
For an extended,
There's like a
period of time.
title where like I'm the technical producer too, so like I'm editing and putting everything up. But like one of the
Right.
titles of an episode is like Matt's mom is the Somalia of sex. I forget what.
Oh
it
yeah,
is.
that was fun. Matt's mom is the Somalia of
it's
Africa.
the Ray Kump episode.
Yeah.
So
there's,
you're also the house mom then.
Yeah.
You'd say.
Right, I'm a
Do you
sport.
guys know what the house mom is, right?
No, what
No.
does that
So the
mean?
house mom is someone who like facilitates everything, like make sure the girls are taken care of.
Oh, okay.
Facilitates like tip
Oh.
and tip out. So you're
That's
house
like the-
mom, man.
And then he's one of my girls.
yeah.
No,
So
we-
actually,
No, I'm like
I'm the house mom.
no, I'm if me and you own like a all male brothel, you would be like I'd be like the owner.
The
You'd be like the
madame?
bottom bitch. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would walk around with
you guys
like
are wearing a lot
ex-
of different hats.
Extra responsibilities.
right, and then we'd have a bunch of Asian boys that all work for us.
But outside. Are they in the brothel or are they just like kind of
I don't know. I
manning
haven't
the
really thought about this until now.
It's like a Uber. You know, they just get the request on their phone. and-
Right. And they
Yeah.
just show
I haven't
up.
really-
They don't
yeah.
know the route.
No,
They don't know
yeah.
the drop off point.
Yeah,
they
there's
just want to get tipped.
no overhead.
Yeah.
You know?
We just get a reality show. I'm like, yeah. Well, basically, I own the best all boy fuck house in all of Bushwick. And this is Matt. He's my house mom.
as
It's called
long
it's called the house mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Call the house mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also have this fantasy. I mean, I don't know, I just, I think 5 years ago I broke up with somebody and I was like really depressed and I went to Pumps and I just like, I don't know, these two girls were like so nice to me and I was like, this is like the meaning of life. Just some like a woman who just strokes your ego and tells you you're cool and
oh yeah.
grinds on you a little bit and not like, not that I have any unfulfilled needs for my relationship now. Everything's perfect. But sometimes like a sex worker does give you something that is missing.
Yeah.
From
That's
your
the
life
same
a
thing
little
happened to Joel after the Lauren thing. He
Oh,
went
yeah?
to Pumps after a big breakup.
Joel after the Lauren thing. Is this something that was formerly discussed? Do we need a previously on?
Oh,
you need to
our
recap?
friend Joel
Yeah.
Wachowski got broken
Yeah.
up with. He left at the altar, basically.
Oh, shit. Yeah. He
So-
needed to like live in a strip
Yeah.
club for a week or something.
Yeah, and he said it helped him too. Pumps the
Yeah.
same way.
Yeah.
I've
But
never
I
been
would-
there.
It's fun.
Never been there.
It's
yeah.
a little hot and cold. It's a
Yeah.
little but it definitely has character. I
Yeah.
think it's like
I've heard it's more like approachable and kind of more
and there's
like
no
a
cover
younger
and
crowd.
Yeah.
What's the pump mean? Or like, what's the story behind the name? Or
I think
what's-
Pumps is
I
just
think
the
it's
kind
just
of
like a
shoes that they
shoe.
wear.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
nothing.
It's like if
All
you owned a strip club, it'd be called like New Balance or something.
Which you guys do on a strip club.
Yeah, right.
So-
Well,
Pedic.
that's our strip club
Right,
name,
right,
New
right.
Balance,
Yeah.
K Swiss, and
Yeah.
it's just a bunch of Asian boys walking around naked in K Swiss shoes.
I mean-
and Matt's the bottom bitch. You make sure.
Look, sign me
No, we
up.
all wear diapers. That's what I want it to be.
I'm not wearing a diaper.
But I
Come
think
on.
there is a point to like one of the things that I noticed immediately because like I went in, I did my research, I talked to a lot of girls that had worked in that industry. I like answered a Craigslist ad. I went about it like very methodically. Like I had an Excel spreadsheet of my budget.
But you knew you wanted to do it. Or you
I
knew it
didn't
was something that you
know.
could- yeah.
I basically like I have, classic millennial story. I have crazy loans. And at this point, in addition to my 9 to 5 and pursuing stand-up comedy, I had tried bartending on the side, freelance graphic design, and it all just seemed to not be worth the money because it was burning me out so much.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have to think big. What's the biggest bang for my buck? And then I was like, oh, that thing that no one wants their daughter to be.
Right.
So I started looking into it and like, again, very methodically, but I went there, I kind of settled into it really quickly. Which like, who knew? I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. But one of the things I noticed was like how emotional it was and like almost more than the sexual aspect of it. So like the men that I danced with the first few times, especially, it was like I was kind of expecting to be like bullied or talked down to or like objectified, but it wasn't. And it was kind of the same thing you were talking about, where you kind of just like needed to be emotionally taken care of. It's so much of like that girlfriend experience. It's so much more that than just like someone looking to kind of, I don't know, find some like skank to hang out with. It's,
Usually it's just Andy Capp who comes in, and is that a reference that either of you understand?
No.
It's like that comic strip. There's some comic strip named Andy Capp. He's like a British guy with a big fat wife, and she's probably mean to him, and he's like a drunk.
Yeah.
So he probably
sounds
just,
like a fun time.
Yeah.
Where is
let me
this
find it.
comic? Sign me
He's
up.
got a, you know, he's the mascot of Hot
All right,
Fries.
time
You ever have
out.
Hot Fries?
Gonna-
Hold on a second.
We're gonna go on an Andy.
Andy Capp break.
Yeah.
No,
Who
we're
doesn't
going
We're
down
going on
a
a
know?
side quest.
Who doesn't? Yeah, side quest, Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going down a little wormhole, a little Andy Capp wormhole. Why won't this?
Getting the Andy Cap pellet.
That's something that I've never encountered in my many, many Wikipedia wormholes. I always end up on Cuba Gooding Jr. I'm not sure why.
You know, I saw him in a CVS, and he was wearing like a bucket
Yeah.
hat, and he like smiled and winked at somebody, and I was like,
Was it
okay,
you?
I wish.
You think I have this life right now? That was me.
I'd be on Cuba Gooding Jr.'s
I would've
yacht, just getting
started-
plowed by that man
I would've
6
started
days a
with that.
week.
I would have opened with that. Yeah. No, he looked off to the. He was like
Who was
waiting.
he
in-
winking at?
I don't know, but he was like waiting in line at CVS. And He
Yeah.
looked off and he like winked at somebody, and I was like,
Maybe it was a
all right, that's
spasm.
why.
Good old
He's
Cuba
got
Gooding
Tourette's.
Jr.
But
And
it's
only
just-
you know.
he is the
Okay,
cool
tell us
kinda-
about this Andy Capp.
He is the cool kind of Tourette's where you just wink at people.
That'd be the best.
You're just cool. You just finger gun.
Yeah.
You just can't stop finger gunning people.
Deep compliments.
Yeah. Hey, you must think I'm cool. No, I just can't stop. I can't stop being the Fonz. This fucking cocksucking stopwatch isn't working. But anyway,
I got it.
all right. Thanks.
15 minutes.
Okay.
You're
Now
still
my
waiting
fucking
for Andy
internet's not
Capp?
working. Where's my phone? Hold on, my phone's in the other room.
It's a tight
Can you
ship.
grab my phone? It's on that table over there.
All right.
All right,
He's
thanks.
talking to Matt.
A marker. You don't have to. We can leave it in. It's like a look behind the scenes, you know? People are curious about the world of podcasting and how the sausage is made. And the cocksucking phone's at 1%. All right. Story of my life. I just want to fucking show.
I
This
can't remember the
woman who
last time my
Andy Capp
phone was
is.
at
I almost-
1%.
No, I
That's
know.
how anal I am.
Doesn't
like,
feel good
if it
at all.
drops below 22%, I'm like, I need to stop everything I'm
having
doing.
problems. This is an iPhone 5.
8, bitch.
That's an 8?
Yeah.
What? All
That's
right.
like the
I have the
lowest.
6S.
She's a
I'm
sex
sorry.
worker.
That's,
I'm sorry.
I
Is that a
just pay.
5?
I just go into T-Mobile and make it rain every month. It's
Mine's
very time consuming.
shitty, and it's like really reacting to the cold now. So
Oh shit!
I go to from 22 to 6 to
No,
0.
I couldn't do that. That's why I'm constantly on my phone between like work emails, comedy, scheduling all of my other fucking life. I need
Right.
This is
something.
Andy Capp, and that's his wife
Oh,
putting
I
him
think
in
I've seen that
like a choke
before.
slam.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ever have hot fries?
No. What is that? I feel like I'm happy. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, is that a sex term?
And now there's an article, The Mirth and Misogyny of Andy Capp, where you have to do a deep dive. See,
Yeah,
I don't want
the-
this to be a crime podcast anymore. I want to do a deep dive on Andy Capp.
Yeah, we even talked about one illegal thing.
Well, yes, but this is how the show works.
That's okay. I'm just letting it flow. I'm just following your guys' lead.
No, it's
We
good.
are going to get into that
No, it's fine.
in time. I also, okay, where the hell were we? So he's like, guy, he's got a wife, and she is mean to him.
Does he go to the strip club a lot?
I would imagine
I wonder
probably.
what British strip clubs
There's
are
probably like a secret file of that the artist drew,
Yeah,
where it's just Andy
right.
Capp fucking prostitutes. It, like never made it into the paper, but like it was just that guy's emotional outlet.
just like eating meat pies while he does it.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's
Yeah.
just what I picture every British person doing at all times.
right.
Tea.
Yeah, just tea and meat pies.
The guy who made Family Circus just had like the children like eating a dead homeless guy, for the outlet.
What?
I don't know Family Circus either.
Really?
No.
The-
You guys don't read didn't you have
That
grandparents?
was the funniest,
Yeah, I
but
read
didn't
like
remember
what's that
it.
one?
Oh, we got
What's
a
that one that starts
seltzer
with a-
delivery
it starts
over
with a
here.
D.
Thank you.
Thank you. I read a lot of funnies. I just can't remember.
Darley down. It's like Charlie Brown.
No,
with Down syndrome.
Doonesbury.
Oh, Doonesbury. Yeah,
Doonesbury.
sucks.
What?
Yeah.
It's clever.
No, Doonesbury's.
It's not like your
bad.
peasant humor over here.
No. What, you think Doonesbury's like smart humor?
I don't know. It's like clever. I mean, I can't like recite you an episode because I haven't looked at one since I was 9.
But you were 9 laughing at Doonesbury?
Yeah,
Jesus
smart fucking kid.
You're like, wow, yeah, that's so true about the deficit.
Yeah. Wise beyond my years. Now
right.
look where I am.
We got to, we got to take another look at that. Okay, so you started, we were talking about the emotional aspect of it, the experience that you're giving to people, and like, I mean, I don't know what that is, but I feel like maybe that's a need that everybody has, and maybe that's something that in some relationships, not mine, that sort of goes away, the romance.
Well, it's also, it's the romance, and it's also just like being adored.
Yeah.
Like that feeling of adoration, and just like the most important thing when you are dancing with someone, again, in my experience, is just like eye contact. It's like eye contact and constant, and it's like, you know, most of the guys like don't try anything. They don't like ask you to go anywhere afterwards, but it's like all about like, if I could chalk it up to one word, it's like they want to feel like adored and important, and it's kind of sad. Like, I mean, not to put down an entire gender, but like there was go ahead. No. But like there was something like I didn't realize until I started dancing, like how lost men are. Like I like looking into someone's eyes when they just think like you are their whole world right now. It's, I mean, like, I'm happy to help and I'm happy to make you feel better, but there's also something like deeply sad about it.
Like, she has to be like,
what's going on?
So you're the assistant manager of the whole Best Buy?
Like, no, but that's not to discourage any listeners from coming in. Like, absolutely take my Instagram.
Mike's actually bad at eye contact.
No, I'm not. I'm better at it than most other people with autism. So fuck you.
So just imagine a lap dance with Mike where he just stares at the clock or whatever blinking.
Are you bringing your own clock?
What?
Are you bringing your own clock?
LEDs
of course. You said 3 minutes. It's been 2:45. Just keeping you honest. My Casio watch.
Hey, I can only dream of clients like you coming in, keeping time.
Mike brings an egg timer.
Yeah.
But usually it's like the length of a song sometimes.
It's the length of a song, and then you kind of like...
Do you ever get stuck on like a long song, like a Bohemian
What's the longest song you can think of off the top of your head?
It's Bohemian Rhapsody.
Is always... And then they like, it's a rule, it's a stripper rule that you have to headbang to that every time, it gets to the interim period. That was a joke. That was a bad joke.
No, I wasn't sure. I was like, do they?
Yeah, it's stripper Bible. It's stripper Bible. No, I mean, they're mostly like 3 minutes. They cut them, and then you kind of you do like 2. And then after 2, you usually say like, do you want to keep going? And then some guys will just say like, stop me at 5, or like, give me a count. Basically, like, your whole thing is to establish trust and to make sure that you're not swindling them, which is like super frowned upon, because like you want everyone to have a good time. That's like how you make money. That's how people leave happy. That's how people come back.
Right.
So
because I met a Chinese girl at Delilah's in Philadelphia one time who took advantage of me.
Love any story that starts like that. I've heard so many.
What's that?
I just love any story that starts with that exact
with a
sentence. Chinese chick at Delilah's in Philly. I'm like,
she was
this is gonna be good.
Well, I was like 18, and she was like, "How much money do you have on you?" And I'm like, "I have like $60."
You're 18, dude. Yeah. They can smell that shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, now they can smell that I'm 34, 35. Like, are you 30? Are you 47?
So what happened? What'd you do?
I'm not 35, by the way. Anyway, so she's like,
shrouded in
she's like, how much? She's like, how much money do you have on you? And I'm like, I have like $80. And she takes the $80. She's like, I can work with this. And I'm like, no.
Don't take all of it.
But yeah, she was trying to just take all my money.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think oh man, the moment where I had that was, I think the saddest moment where I just took all of someone's money was like, I kept checking in on them and saying like, that's a 10th, that's an 11th. And they were like, yeah, keep going.
A 10th, 11th, what?
Dance. And they
Oh,
were
wow.
like drunk out of their minds.
Oh,
and I
no.
was like, just so you know, it's like this much money. And I was giving them markers. And then at the end, I told them like how much. And that's why you're never supposed to go to that many dances without getting money.
Some of it up front. Yeah.
Yeah. But I told him like the final amount. And I think it was like $450 for one guy. And it was like,
For 10 dances, that's not too bad.
no, it was, I mean, whatever it is divided by 20. You know, I'm good at stripping. I'm not good at math.
90.
Right.
That's
That's
Right.
90.
always good.
That's
Damn.
90 dances.
90. Wait, let's
She
do
finds
the math.
She
Let's
finds
do the
the
math
Asian
really
girl
quickly.
to be like,
It
how
was
much?
like four. Boo. So it's 22
Sorry.
dances.
22 dances.
22 dances in a
We're not
row.
getting
And yeah, I mean, you just got to check in with people because, yeah, you just run the risk of them being like, I don't know, you're lying to me. Or
That's a
then you
full
gotta get the-
album.
It's a full.
That's 2 full albums.
It's a lot of. I
Yeah.
will say, like the first couple weeks that I danced, like I definitely felt to work out. It was like, but it goes by so fast. Like again, and compared to my corporate job, I feel so much less demoralized. And bummed out when I'm dancing. Like you're getting exercise,
Oh,
you're talking
wow.
to
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Deb just
Time's
brought us a
flying
plate of
by.
berries.
She's a fucking angel.
Wonderful.
Matt, take one of those berries and like dance it around your mouth. I wish I had a body like that could just make money. I mean, it seems like
Me?
it's
Yeah.
pretty. No,
Yeah,
I mean,
Matt,
yeah,
get out
like,
there.
like
Get
Matt,
out there,
berries,
pretty
what's
boy.
going-
like
Sorry.
Matt, yeah.
I don't know you that well, and I just called you pretty boy. I'm
No,
about
it's
to
fine.
feed you one of these berries
Yeah. Here we go.
seductively.
Here we go.
You can do better.
Just eating with my mouth open.
Yeah. That is like an interesting thing though, because like whether it's like so you talked about let's talk about men being lost. I mean that is kind of like I don't know that's a thing that you don't really talk about, or it's kind of like in 2018 it's kind of like who cares. And I feel like unless you own a bunch of power tools, you are kind of lost as a guy.
Yeah, I feel really bad because I've talked to I
Unless
just
you
like
built your own podcast studio and table, you know.
then you're the
Just-
fucking man
then
over
you-
there. in
That's
that
the
game
opposite of
chair.
lost right there.
right.
No, I mean I just like I like recently went through a breakup, and one of our conversations was like I just think it's more culturally like socially acceptable. Geez, I can't talk. It's more encouraged for women to like do their own emotional work and talk to each other, and there's still this huge block when it comes to heterosexual men to like kind of keep everything bubbled down. I mean, I think in 2018 Brooklyn, it's like up and coming, and like dudes with beards are
Right.
talking about their own feelings a little more. But for the most part, it's very like tamped down. And so I think how that plays into clubs is like when they come there, it's like a total release, and they're allowed to feel vulnerable.
Do they ever cry?
I have never gotten someone who's cried, but I've gotten people who are close who are talking to me about like their marriage and I don't like judge, and I don't think it's sad like, oh wow, that fucker's so pathetic. I actually like really feel for them because they're these are guys that for the most part are like 35 and up. And so it's not this like millennial generation that could maybe be open to talking about their feelings to their guy friends and stuff. It's like, it's people that are very much set in their ways and like taught by their dads and dads to kind of like be a man. And yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that like, women don't have it. I'm obviously not saying that, that women don't have it hard because they really do. But there was like a different side that I saw in like this very scary male repression. And I don't know. I think it accounts for a lot of like, obviously like violence and lashing out and shit. So I don't know. Talk more, guys. Like talk to your bros.
Yeah.
Talk to your
Share your
female
feelings.
friends. Yeah, do it. I mean, and even if it is going to a strip club and talking to people, maybe that can be a starter thing, and then you can take that out into the world, to the non-strip club world.
Yeah. What do you think it is that is being repressed? Or, I mean, do you think it's just like...
I think it's just emotional vulnerability.
Emotional stuff,
Yeah. Like I talk to a lot of people who, like married really quickly, needed to be like the man, the patriarchy, the caregiver.
provider.
Yeah. The provider. And, without kind of thinking like what they need, who are they, like just put in this place of
Right.
kind of this like patriarchal figure. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
That's interesting too, because like when you don't grow up with money and you have to work, you don't always have time to figure out that stuff, to find yourself or to find something you're
Your role
passionate
models
about.
and like your older, people, your
Yeah.
older brother, your father,
yeah.
they're like, you show any sign of emotion, you're gonna get
Right.
you get
And
that
this whole
knocked out of you.
Yeah,
this whole
it's so
transgender
sad,
thing, like
yeah.
I've never really sat down and asked myself if I'm a woman or not. Like maybe once or twice.
I mean, I feel like you know.
start- think I
I
am.
sentence this whole transgender thing.
I feel like you know that's something I can't speak to.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I agree with the point of like ask yourself questions, like
Yeah. No,
be
I like
open with
being
yourself.
Yeah, I like being a guy.
Yeah,
I've watched too many.
Look, if there's one reason why we've all come here today, now we've settled that Mike is a man and was always meant to be a man.
Thank
For
you.
any of our listeners that have been wondering, he is
Now
he is
definitive.
man spreading in his game chair while eating mozzarella. I've never seen something more straight.
Hey, thanks.
I don't
So-
normally go. Is it? It's frowned upon to wear sweatpants.
You've never-
Like, do people?
Yes.
No, so
Is that
so there's
like a
a
faux
little
pas,
bit
right?
about a little bit
You gotta
of
wear
yeah.
cargo shorts, bro. That's what a guy that I worked with told me one time. He
Wear
goes,
cup-
God, what?
he was like
cargo shorts. Why to have like a different surprise in
He's
each
from-
pocket?
he's from-
I'm gonna pay you from my
I got
left
fireworks
leg.
in this one. I got only quarters in this other one. It drives the babes wild.
well, this guy's from Maryland, so he's like the most Maryland guy that I've ever known, and
Yeah.
he was kind of like a mentor to me when I was like 18, 19, because he was my boss
Okay.
for this like sales job that I had.
Yeah.
So he was like my sort of the only thing I had that was like a mentor, like an older guy who would, and we would go to like the Chinese buffet with like, and it was BYOB. So we'd bring like handles of Captain Morgan to the fucking Chinese buffet and just get trashed and watch
Where was this?
porn in Jersey.
Of course,
And
of
watch-
course. Why did I?
Like watch porn in the back of his Nissan Murano and be trashed on Captain Morgan.
Yet you were questioning at some point if you were a woman or not.
I never got the chance to do that. He never walked me through it. That never came up.
Maybe.
No, I don't think I am.
He's the grossest woman in the world.
He's like, guys, two things: wear cargo shorts to a strip club.
Why? Why?
And gender is fluid. Okay, it's not really cut and dry. It's not. There's not always a binary. Not everyone fits the binary.
But that's what I hope for the next few years, right?
Yeah.
Is you can be this like macho fucking guy who also takes a dick once in a while. Like, why can't you be both ends of the I don't know. Like there is.
Then your friends at Pep Boys won't talk to you.
Yeah, all right. If you're at a Pet Boys in Jersey,
The friendly
I guess,
boys.
Oh,
Yeah, they're not so friendly once they find out you take a dick once in a while.
but like what is that Dave Chappelle thing? That's like the manliest.
If
thing
I
you can
wanted it,
do.
I'd get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe just got to ask
Maybe
yourself
one
the right
day.
question.
Yeah, maybe just get it. Just try it.
We always
Just
joke
try
about
it.
Shelby pegging me. So
We joke about it.
Is that your girlfriend?
yeah.
How long have you guys been together?
Long enough to be
Pegging?
yeah.
We joke about it 10 or 11 times per episode. Matt's
actually
always
crazy that it
joking
hasn't
about
come- But, like-
Shelby
I always
pegging
bring
him.
it up to the guy.
Dude, that's the most pain tolerance you can put up with. So I feel like that's like the closest that a man will get to childbirth.
Yeah,
Being pegged.
maybe.
I
Fair
don't
is
know.
fair,
I'm just saying,
right? If
like,
we have a kid,
if you have a kid,
Yeah.
she gets to fuck you in the ass
if
while
she
she's 9 months pregnant.
if she's like dead set on wanting that, who knows?
I'm just saying, I'm trying to implement a new equality.
Shelby pegs Matt with a baby. She's like, this is what it feels like.
Dude, yeah.
Baby
Yeah, while
size
she's
dildo.
heavier than you, she pegs you. Like that's when
Oh my god.
that's when feminism will be achieved.
I feel like a lot of my jokes are falling flat. Maybe the image of Shelby pegging you with a baby.
Everybody,
Deb
pull up
laughing.
your Facebook right now.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Anyway, all right. Well, I got a mouthful of mozzarella cheese, but we are going to
Perfect.
talk about
Perfect.
crime. So
Wait,
I mean,
before we continue, you have a show at 8:20, right?
No, I have a show. I don't have to leave till 8:50.
Okay.
like,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay. 8:50.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I'll drive you if you want.
Cool.
Cool.
Matt.
All right,
Swole's,
guys.
like,
It's all.
looking out.
Yep.
Cool.
Anyone else who wants a ride, just travel back in time.
Sorry, Deb, I got to drive this stripper to her comedy show.
See, that's why I need to hold on to my corporate job, because if I don't have that, I'm just a stripper comedian.
But how do
I'm
you
just
have?
a classic trope.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Because I feel I have like a little side job too. I mean,
Yeah.
I have a few different sources of income. I mean, it's hard to balance all that.
Yeah,
It must be,
I'm
right? You work
fueled
9 to
by
5,
an intense. I work like 9 to 7. I work 9 to 7.
and then you do comedy.
Then I do comedy. So I do comedy like twice a week. And then I have a writing gig because I'm trying to pursue writing more than stand up. So I do like writing twice a week. And then I'll do dancing like 1 to 2 nights a week. So basically, I am just propelled by a fear of failure.
Oh my God.
Right? Which is just the strongest. But I still get like 7 hours of sleep a night.
How?
I just work until like from when I wake up to when I go to sleep. So like yesterday I had work 9 to 7. Met with a friend because relationships are important, you guys.
Sure.
And then from like 9 to 11:30, I did a writing assignment. That's a little bit of cash. Went to bed. Woke up this morning. Did a little. You just, I feel like
as long as
I
you go
am
to
just
bed before 12.
yeah. As long
you're
as I go to
set.
bed before 12, and for me, it's like nothing is scarier than fucking being in the corporate world until I'm 42 and wondering what the fuck happened to my life. So that's like every day I'm fueled by that not happening.
Sure. And if you're 42 right now, it's completely fine.
It's totally fine. It's totally fine. It's not my
you're
dream,
fine.
but it might be yours. And if
Right.
I don't want kids or a house or anything, so it's just me. Maybe
If
a
you're
dog.
42 on an incel forum and this show's keeping you going,
Just don't shoot
Yeah.
it's
anyone.
totally fine.
Sorry, was
No
that-
one's gonna shoot you.
Yeah.
Come on, Matt will jump right in front of the gun. Right, Matt?
Sure.
It's his duty as house mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's something to be said. I mean, we could talk about this like a lot more, but I guess we have to move on. But like, there is something to be said about sort of like using your body to, like just make some money. And I feel like if you're a guy, that could be, working in construction or
Yeah.
whatever. Like I've been
Physical.
a mover for a long time, and it's like it is like backbreaking
Yeah.
work, but it's decent money.
Yeah.
Luckily, so like that should be a thing for
Oh, I totally
women
think
too to use your body for money. Like that shouldn't
Yeah.
be frowned upon.
no, and I mean, again, I am in a very like liberal bubble, so there hasn't been one person that I've told that's like judging me. Like all my friends, all my, some of my family know what I do, and there's not like no one bats an eye because luckily it's fucking 2018 and we're all feminists now. Yeah, but I think it's like
Well,
for
Matt's
me,
still kinda, like, learning.
Right,
I'm
right,
back.
right.
I'm
Wait till he gets
backwards.
pegged, and then he'll be full feminist once he. Does,
I represent the Midwest
Right.
on this
Right.
podcast. So
Perfect.
once
Well,
the Midwest gets pegged,
yeah, the
we'll
whole
get
Midwest.
closer to.
But yeah, I mean, I think I found it all in all to be, and I'm not suggesting this for anyone who's like thinking about it, who might be listening to it. Like you have to listen to what's good for you. But in my personal experience, I have found it to be incredibly empowering.
Yeah.
Because I was like
That
methodical
does sound like a
about
Vice
it.
article. These guys are getting pegged to feel what it's like to give birth.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Interesting.
Yeah.
So let's talk about sex work is illegal in most of the United States. In New Zealand, it is decriminalized. But I want to talk about a recent article came out in The Guardian saying that when sex work is decriminalized, it's actually safer and the people who engage in it are less prone to violence. They're able to negotiate, and it's not.
They're
it
more
sort of
likely to
takes-
use a condom and stuff.
Right, which like not all things have positive effects, but you got to put one of those horrid
For the greater
contraptions.
good, Mike.
Yeah.
Right,
Until they come up with a 5-second AIDS test.
right, like a light.
pH balance.
Yeah, but this is an article in The Guardian. This is a pretty recent article. Criminalization of sex work normalizes violence, review finds. Sex workers are more likely to suffer poor health, violence, and abuse in countries where their trade is criminalized, a major review has found. So basically what they're saying is like it's just better for the people who engage in it when it's not stigmatized and illegal.
Yeah, and also if it is illegal and there are legal ramifications for, I mean, again, I can't emphasize enough how green I am to this and how
Yeah.
I don't speak for all sex workers.
Did we say that already? We're like, let's meet back here in 20 years and see what
Yeah,
you say.
Yeah.
I will be so fucking wizened by then. Yeah, I'm just
How
gonna
long
be
have you been
chain
doing it?
smoking a year.
A year.
So, very green. But
I feel like your
no. I think it's good. I think I was just
Okay.
fucking with it.
Sorry.
But I will say also, it's like you're penalizing people that probably like need it the most. You know what I mean? Because I'm not saying that it all comes from a place of desperation, but no one starts off rich and well-to-do and is like, I think I'll just go into
right.
sex work.
This is my
like,
calling.
no one's like,
Yeah.
should I take a class at UCB or
Right.
should I be a Craigslist whore? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. So I think
Because I would imagine you're probably middle class or
Yeah. I just have I happen to have like a real weird fucking loan situation, but I feel like I'm more fortunate of a lot of people that go into this work, and I think it's ass backwards to not only not regulate and like protect it, but then also to like penalize these people and kind of put them further, propagate them further down, propel them.
Yeah, they're
further
like,
down.
this is illegal. We're gonna pretend it doesn't exist. And then low lives are like, all right, well,
right.
we'll run it then.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny. Like it is fundamentally sort of like an economic issue that I don't think rich people should be allowed to talk about, because it sounds like a lot of the people, like a lot of your clients might be, lower class guys who just need to be validated, need to be told that, it's actually cool to work in an Amazon warehouse or whatever it is that they do. You were talking about like the desperation of people who come in, right?
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people who want to keep it criminalized, because I guess the argument there is that like they don't think that the people who exploit the workers are being punished. They think that they think people who engage in the exploitive aspect of it should be punished, and they want to see that happen.
What do you mean the exploitive asset?
So-
Like people that manage?
Yeah, hit us with the story.
Like pimps, like pimping ain't easy, But so what I found was this, and this is super interesting because I feel like I've like used my body to get by, in this tough town.
Are you talking about moving? Or are you talking about something else? Okay.
I wish it was something else.
It's
When
very
I'm on a-
flattering,
This is
by
a
the
big
way.
boy diaper
Huge,
mom.
I will
when
say,
I'm on a
like,
4th floor
huge
walk.
confidence booster.
Yeah.
Like when people are just like, I will throw money at your body. You're like, damn, all right, I feel good. I feel like I maybe don't need to work out as much as I thought I did.
Right.
Yeah. Try
I
it,
hear
Matt.
that, yeah.
Come with me next time.
But sometimes I'm on like a 5th floor walk up, and I'm like, I wish I
Yeah.
could sell my asshole instead of having to carry these Home Depot boxes.
How much would you charge?
I don't. It depends on how much I could. $1
What
million.
would my clients be like?
Gross. I mean, I've gotten solicited a couple of times. And
For sex.
yeah, and I've declined because I'm not there. No judgment. I'm just personally not there yet.
It's not something you would do.
I don't have a number.
You just want to give a guy blue balls.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly.
Oh, fuck me.
That was
dude.
Deb's fault for
just
putting that there.
Send them off.
What a temptress.
Yeah.
Yeah. They know what they're getting into.
Right. But yeah, so that's but you said would you say it's more of an emotional thing?
What?
It's more
Going
of an
back to
emotional.
it?
It's more of an emotional
Yeah,
service.
but wait, what were you talking about? Let's go back to the.
So
You're
this
talking
is an
about
article.
exploiting-
This is an article that came out recently. So it says this is an article from December 7th. Last month, actor and activist Ashley Judd sparked backlash on social media when she posted her controversial position on sex work and consent after facing criticism for an Instagram post about #survivors of #prostitution who are saying #MeToo, in which she wrote that prostitution is paid rape. Judd stood by her stand. She tweeted, "I believe body invasion is indeed inherently harmful, and cash is the proof of coercion. Buying sexual access commodifies something that is beyond the realm of capitalism and entrepreneurship, girls and women's, orifices, which is kind of bizarre. But the point, what she's kind of saying is like, no one should ever sell their bodies because our vaginas are sacred. Which it's like, I guess they're sacred to you.
I think you like. I know women who have personally done that, and like it's not a big deal to them.
Right.
They're like, yeah, I did it, and whatever, and I'm moving. Like I think the problem obviously is when people are like brought up, and I can't speak to this fully because I don't know, but I would assume the problem is that when people are brought up into this lifestyle, or when they're brought into it without really having a sense of self or like autonomy, that's obviously a huge problem. But if you're like a 27-year-old and you're like, how do I make some money? Like, I'm going to sleep with this like fine looking but lonely rich dude and then move on with my life and then like pay off some loans and buy myself a dress. Like,
sounds kind of
you
great.
should be able to do that. I don't know. Like,
right.
Like,
I mean, that's the thing is like when your rent's due and bills are due, like your pussy's not that sacred, I would imagine, if I had one.
I mean, it's as sacred as you want. Like, maybe you need it for loans. Maybe you just like literally want to buy an $1,000 handbag. I don't know. I mean, I think that you should have the freedom to do that if you want. And like, if you're, and you need to be able to judge the situation and know that you're going to be able to like deal with that in the future.
It would just suck if like they ever like devalued it, or like you got caught in some feedback loop where it's like, what if like it became less than a McDonald's job? Or like, what if they just started paying less and less until like, you know, sex work just became like you made just a little bit more.
I don't think
than
it would be like an hourly
like
rate. I still don't think you would have to fill out like a W.
Sure.
they start selling.
You get like an orientation, like an HR orientation.
Yeah. They're like, we're cutting benefits.
They all have name tags. Like, I don't think it would be. I think it would just be.
They start selling it on Amazon.
Like, by legalizing it, I would imagine you are able to make regulations.
Oh,
like it's
right.
It's illegal to lie about not having STDs or something like that. Like, that's what I think of.
Right. Yeah. Legalization would be good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, but like, I get what you're thinking, where it's like, is there a minimum wage involved? Like,
right. I'm just like, I'm just picturing them like figuring out a way to like turn it into a low paying job.
Right.
Well,
you know,
like Jeff Bezos, I feel like would probably.
Prostitution would be middle class or upper middle class.
If what?
If like it was put to a number, like I would hope prostitution, like let's say you did it like twice a week for a year.
You say that, but you'd be the first guy to pay $7 an hour for some girl to suck your dick. You're like,
not
in America.
That's a really good price.
Not in the United States. Come on.
Yeah.
But I would hope you'd make like $100,000 for that much sex work for that level.
That's
a
house.
lot of.
I mean, I
work.
think you. I don't know. I can't. Again, like, I think it would be freedom for everyone to like.
Matt comes to my house and gets all buddy with Michael Brooks, like, hey, what's up? And then he's like, oh wow, it's $9 an hour. That's pretty cool.
Great.
Yeah, you fake socialist. Just kidding. He's a fake progressive. Anyway, folks, where were we?
Adorable beanie. He's just fooling us all.
Yeah, let me tell you what I think about the Jews. You guys gonna let that one just completely?
Just fall flat.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
true.
I was leaning on Mike, you know, the autistic one, to pick that one up and run with it. But
do people say that about me? Anyway,
you just said that about you earlier.
Fine.
With the no eye contact thing.
No,
well,
it's
now
just
it's two of us falling flat, Matt. So
it's just very bizarre for someone who's worth $22 million. I Googled that, to be like, women's orifices are sacred and they're beyond the realm of being bought and sold. And like, tell it to somebody who, you know.
And it's like, when's the last time we ever...
It's really hard out here, Ashley Judd. What am I going to do? Go on Fiverr and fucking sell fonts?
Yeah.
Fiverr is not... Like, by the time you open your laptop, that's $5 right there.
Right.
Don't do Fiverr, you guys.
You're destroying the economy.
I don't know how people make money, like, as a graphic designer. Anyway,
I feel like they buy presets and they just do like the bare minimum.
Yeah, they
like
just
templates,
like change the font.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they upcharge
like,
for all the little details. They're like, oh, you want to deliver it on time? Fucking an extra
even that,
$5.
like, I calculated it and I'm like, literally, even like for whatever.
No, I know what you mean.
it. I'm stripping, so I'm fine. I'm being taken care of.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is another article that I found. Now, I guess like the argument against it is like they feel like like people they're allowing girls sex workers to be exploited. And if you decriminalize it, it's going to allow that to sort of like run amok. But also, I mean, I don't know if it's regulated and people.
Wait, how would it run amok?
So like if prostitution is legal, then there's going to be, which is kind of like
what are they going to put it in my McDonald's? Like they're
just going to open it up. There's just going to be a vagina in there.
Yeah, they're going to put it in my church.
But it's kind of like. It's kind of like a weird logic where they think that if they completely stop it, then the bad parts of it will just go away.
No, it's
which
the
they
same
totally
thing.
won't.
It's the same thing as like teaching abstinence in high school, and that's where you get the most pregnant girls. Like, it's not going to go away. People are,
they just don't want to see it.
Oldest profession in the world.
Right.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's not going to stop. It's just like, how can we protect and empower?
Right,
them?
and then the ones that would use it would probably be able to afford it the way it is now. So
yeah,
it's like in their best interest to keep things the way they are.
Right. You just have to be like not a piece of shit. Like if you're going to be a client and you want it to be regulated, you just get tested and don't fucking be a dick.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, well, it doesn't punish the pimps, but it's like, it's not easy to be a pimp either, You gotta,
I don't know. I don't know. Like maybe they could be upgraded to managers or something, or maybe if it was decriminalized, they wouldn't even need the middleman. I don't know.
You should be able to
advertise yourself, like
fan
under
support.
the radar. Yeah, Instagram that shit.
Yeah, I guess we don't really like look at these people. I mean, you have to be pretty tough to be a prostitute, to be like a stand on the corner, I'll suck your dick prostitute. And we don't really like think about that. We're just like,
you don't think about that every time you see like Hustle and Flow or Pretty Woman. Your first thought in your head isn't what a tough bitch. That's my first thought.
I think what he's thinking is he doesn't see that. He doesn't see that all the time. So it
is, but I think most people are kind of like detached from that reality, and it's like if they're saying, well, we want to make what we're doing legal,
right? If Mike had to Freaky Friday with a corner prostitute.
Yeah, I just like the lifestyle too much.
Yeah, I think what he's saying is he wants to work the corner. I think that's
but it's too scary. It's like doing an open mic,
Yeah.
Just gotta.
Except there's a little more dignity involved, right, folks?
That's 100% true.
Yeah, you've been on. Yeah,
it goes stripping, open mics, corporate job. That's exactly how it goes.
I remember one time I was walking home late at night. This was like a long time ago, and this lady approached me, and she was like, "Hey, how you doing?" She's like, I just want to let you know, like, I'm out here trying to make some money, but I work for my money. So if you need a little head or I think she called it
a little head.
Yeah. So if you need a little head or something.
But then
she was like an older lady, and I was polite. I was like, oh yeah, thanks, but I'm okay. But that's got to be tough.
But I guess like this is why I personally feel like I'm pro, legalization is that you can have like a safe haven for those people. You can have like a club, or you can have like, I guess like a new age brothel, but you can have something where like when I go into work, I feel safe. I mean, obviously like I keep my wits about me and I don't get too drunk and I don't lose my belongings. Like I look out for me, but I do feel like I have like a manager. I feel like there's enough bouncers around. I feel like there's like a house, like there's people looking out for me.
Yeah.
And that's because what I'm doing is for the most part legal. It is legal. I don't know why I said for the most part.
Right.
Can you give us an idea of where this place is?
Yeah. So I can talk a little bit about my sitch. Yeah. So basically, I've never worked at like a proper strip club. I've always worked at places called underground, like lap dance parties. And basically that's geared towards like, more upper class clients who basically want like a lap dance experience, but not feeling like they're at a strip club. So they want to have a connection with someone. They want to feel like they're talking to their like secretary or their next door neighbor or whatever. And then that person just happens to be into them and give them a lap dance. So it's like a little bit of a different concept, but it's getting bigger and bigger, but it is also getting like,
what do you wear at a place like that?
I wear like a short dress. Like I wear a dress, like I mean, I never go clubbing, but
Right.
if I were to go clubbing,
Right.
it's what I would wear. So I wear like a mini skirt and like a crop top, and
That's kind of cool.
and I don't wear like stripper heels, and I basically just look like a pretty girl who's going out for the night. So I think that like that has more of an appeal to like white collar clients, because it's not like so overt, and they kind of want to feel like wooed. And again, it's that adoration, not like they're like a piece of meat. And someone's coming up to them like, do you want to dance? Do you want to dance? Like dance with me like you're just cash. They have to be like massaged. That ego has to be massaged a little.
Right.
So
It's
that's
like for the modern man.
yeah, and so
there is kind of like there is a little bit more of like an emotional connection there.
yeah, and I've definitely
You know.
I would say like my number one draw.
It's not like you're in Saigon and some Vietnamese girl is like,
with the fucking Asian chicks over here, Matt. What do
Do
you-
you gotta act out for us?
what?
It's not like you're in Saigon.
Don't do an
for the-
act out.
for-
No, I wanna
Don't
see
do
you
an
guys
no,
act
no,
out.
no, no, no,
Nah,
no.
you don't-
Please don't.
you don't know our-
Don't
check
tempt
in
him.
on my co-host. Do you have an act out for us?
You don't know our
My
listeners.
manager will ban me from doing this if I. Just kidding. My stripper manager.
Did you go on a podcast where someone did an impression of a Vietnamese prostitute?
from Saigon.
We just lost all of your sponsors. Fuck. But yeah, basically, like I would say my biggest draw to clients is the fact that I can like, is run my mouth the proper term? Like I can banter, I can talk to people, like
You
I
be
can kind of like
yourself,
neg
kinda.
people.
Can you say me Vietnamese, me play joke, me?
That's exactly what I say. That's exactly. You know, now that you say it, I recognize you from Saigon. That's. Jesus.
This is very. You get fired from your stripper job because they found a podcast that you did.
I would be very impressed at their due diligence.
Yes, we vet our clients to make sure they haven't been on Mike Recine's podcast where he's
We do a
he's done
deep dive.
horrible, offensive impression of a Vietnamese prostitute.
Indefensible.
It was lazy at best. It was half-assed at best.
Well, I'm
I'm not trying to tempt you into doing.
Yeah, but
that.
stop being a millennial. We're allowed to.
I can't help it. I just feel these loans on me.
As soon as you even try to figure out if he has an act out, it becomes immediately funny. You're like, you got something for us, buddy?
All right, let's see. Yeah, it's an
are you
exciting
gonna go?
world.
Are you gonna
It's
go?
an exciting world of podcasting, baby. It's all. This isn't like stand up where
No.
you write it ahead of time.
Yeah.
Where you have
Heat
all
of the
day.
moment.
Yeah.
You have
On
all
record.
day
Yeah.
your shift at Shake Shack to figure out the wording, you know. So I think I got almost there. Yeah, but it's but there's also something kind of appealing of like just a girl who's like kind of dumb and she's like, oh, cool, you're cool. You want to feel cool. You want to
Yeah.
feel like I don't know.
Well, yeah, there's types, you know, there's all
Is that-
different types. There's like girls that are kind of like more, and I say this endearingly, like bimbos, and there's more girls that are a little bit like
Every type.
exotic. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's every type.
Right.
And
I want a girl to be a substitute teacher who's angry at me.
for not doing the reading or not shutting
want-
the fuck up in the
yeah,
back
I
of the
want-
class while she's trying to show a video for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
I
even
want-
a porn search engine's like,
Yeah.
that's pretty impossible.
Yeah.
I want school librarian who tells me I don't apply myself. That's really hot.
You have so much more,
nagging
Michael.
you. have so much more
you could
potential.
really be someone, and all
Yeah.
you're doing is drawing.
Let me show you. Let me show you what you could be. That'll be $75.
When I was in middle school, there's this really fat kid. I mean, he's gonna judge me for saying this.
I won't
but-
judge you.
but whatever.
Judge-free zone. Let's go.
But,
It's Planet Fitness over here. Matt's giving me. I got like, we're totally gonna fucking judge him. Go
but
for it, Mike.
my friend Chad was like a really good artist. He was pretty talented. He
This is already
drew
gonna
a
be
lot. You know?
terrible.
There's this kid Rich Mislinski who was super overweight, and there was this kid Matt Valerio who we all kind of like didn't
Yeah.
like. He was kind of like he's kind of wormy,
Yeah.
you know. And he was
Sure.
kind of like a bully, but like not an overt bully, like a sly, you know.
Cheeky bully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would be kind of snide, you know.
Yeah.
And so Chad drew Rich Mislinski. We also had this running joke that Chicken Holiday was like a gay restaurant.
Yeah.
Because it's called Chicken. It just sounds gay, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't actually know what Chicken Holiday
it's
is.
a
I've never.
chain. It's a Pennsylvania, Jersey.
Okay,
Deep
yeah.
dive inside
restaurant.
elementary
Yeah.
school Mike Racine's brain. New Jersey
middle
elementary
I'm
school.
also banned from ever coming in contact with the phrase Chicken Holiday. So now my contract is really up.
Nice. Inside the actor's studio. So I just always wanted to express myself, and I told my so Chad was really good at drawing, so he drew Rich he drew Rich Mislinski like crawling the Chicken Holiday.
Oh my God.
as Matt Valerio was like fucking him in the ass. And he's like getting fucked in the ass, crawling to Chicken Holiday, and it was like a big thing. Like, Chad got in so much trouble for drawing this picture.
How old were you? Was
Like
it in
12.
class?
Yeah, like 12.
That's pretty
Did he get
fucking good
expelled?
for a 12-year-old, dude.
Did he get expelled? Did she cry?
They kept that drawing. They put it on their fridge. Are you kidding me?
It was like this
Framed somewhere.
super detailed drawing of like this fat kid getting fucked in the ass while he's trying to get the Chicken Holiday.
Oh man, poor.
I think he got suspended for like a day.
Worth it. Worth it.
Could you imagine that parent conference?
Just walking.
He's like, good news, your son is talented.
And
Bad news.
imaginative.
I have to say, you know, your son really does exhibit some talent in drawing. If we could just get him to not draw Rich Mislinski getting fucked in the ass by Matt Valerio while he's crawling to Chicken Holiday. And Chad like really put a lot of work into this drawing.
He's like shading it. He's doing
shading
contours.
it.
Yeah. He's like
He's
totally
using
making fun of
fixative.
somebody, but he's not ready to show it to
Right.
everybody.
He's like,
not
wait,
ready.
it's not ready. He's sculpting it afterwards. You're like, what the fuck are
I'm
you
like,
doing?
I don't get it. He's like, never show a work in progress.
Yeah.
I don't get
He's
it.
just smoking a cigarette in the back. Like,
Yeah.
fuck.
He's like not doing his homework. He's trying to get the
Tortured artist up at night. He cuts a
Drawing on
zero.
windows, beautiful mind shit.
He's trying to get the detail on Richard's ass. He's trying to get like Richard's ass sweat just the right way.
12 years old. A ripe 12-year-old genius.
I feel bad.
Damn. What was the segue to that?
I don't care.
I don't know.
Who fucking
I've
gives a
never
shit?
Chicken Holiday. That's a place, though.
That sounds.
Yeah, my
So
friend Chaz
depressing.
was like, here's the theme song for Chicken Holiday. And you go, Chicken Holiday, where the guys stir their drinks with their penis and you get a big surprise with every fries. That's not mayonnaise, which is kind of, that's pretty creative
Yeah.
for a 12-year-old.
Yeah. Doesn't necessarily rhyme.
Doesn't roll off the
But-
tongue.
Where the
Yeah,
guys
it's-
stir their drinks
It's not
with
like
Looking for the
catchy
melody.
Where the
or
guys-
iconic.
No, it's
But it sounds like an old like Celtic tune, you know,
Yeah.
like some certainly like an old Scottish bard song.
where the guys stir drinks with their penis and you get a big surprise with every fries. That's
Big
not,
surprise with every fries
Yeah,
is good.
that works,
That's
but
definitely good.
Penis doesn't really.
Stir their penis.
Yeah, I need more of a structure.
Yeah, packing penises was better than that.
I just imagine like once he's done drawing the kid getting fucked in the ass, then he has to start working on the Chicken Holiday. We gotta go. We gotta
Yeah,
wrap this up.
let's
No, no,
All
we're
right,
good.
I
I'm
want.
just-
All right,
I
back
got
to
another
because
10 minutes.
Let's get back on track and then just wrap her
God
up.
damn, I'm in tears. I'm in tears thinking about that because it was such a fucking
Oh,
like.
I wish I could look in your mind and see like the visual.
It was such a scandal in my school.
Yeah, and you were right there. You
And
were
they
right on the
did this
inside.
big-
Yeah,
and my
dude.
reading teacher did this big investigation to figure out like not only who drew but who was
Yeah.
involved and who
Right.
like
Who was
laughed.
involved?
Like, who laughed at it?
Who supplied him
They
with
just,
the
like,
pencils?
Pin it up on the board and do a full-on fucking investigation.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
like all the yarn.
Meanwhile, the
leading to
poor kid
different
is
students.
just like, "Can you please take that down? That's my asshole."
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah, the big conspiracy at our school was
Rich was a good sport, though. He was a good
Yeah.
sport. He could take it.
Good.
But
Wi-
Matt
well,
Valerio, he deserved.
in
He
many
deserved.
ways.
He did take it.
He did take it.
He didn't have a choice.
Yeah, figuratively.
Yeah, the big conspiracy at our school was that when they put us in the auditorium to watch Schindler's List, somebody yelled
boy.
"butt."
Really?
Yeah, that was our big conspiracy.
Wait,
Just a boy.
I'm not
um,
remembering. Like, was
so
there a butt scene?
No. He
Oh.
like this was a thing. He would just
Yeah.
yell like "butt."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When
So
it's
he-
uncomfortable Holocaust silences. That was a big scandal.
Yeah, I mean
Damn.
our English. He got kicked. He like
right.
got taken out in front of everybody.
Yeah. beaten.
I was just getting at we didn't have a big scandal.
Right.
That's what I was getting at.
I mean,
We didn't have
message received. Message.
quite the drawing scandal.
Yeah.
Can I just tell another middle school story?
Yeah.
Sure.
So like everybody in my middle school was like such a fucking piece of shit. It's like Jersey, and it's Jersey in middle school. So, and one day we had this Holocaust survivor come and talk to us.
Oh no.
So
Like every
I'm-
start to it is just bracing myself.
Yeah.
almost 200 patrons.
Button
Yeah.
down
Fuck yeah.
patches.
But so we had this Holocaust survivor come and talk. And he was like this rabbi who
Yeah.
he was Hungarian. He lived through the Holocaust, and he goes, "I want to ask you kids something." He's like, "Who's responsible for the Holocaust? Like who do we blame?" And people were raising their hand. They were like, well, Hitler,
Sure.
the Nazis," and then Chad was like Chad was sitting next to me. His name was Chad Horniak, which is funny. He had horny in his name.
Problematic.
Yeah. Chad Horniak, he raised his hand. He goes, I think it was like all the racist people who just like allowed it to happen. And then so after the guy took all the answers, he goes, you know, there were a lot of good answers here, but the closest correct answer was from that little girl all the way in the back.
Chad.
You guys laugh.
He thought Chad was a girl.
It just immediately detracted from any intelligence. It's like so smart.
He
so,
stands up and yells, "Fuck you!"
I'm not a girl, you fucking idiot. Fuck this. I'm never coming back to school. How was your day, son?
I wish I could more.
Holocaust. Gee, that's a little too far, Matthew. A Holocaust
on.
survivor called me a girl. I'm never going back to school. Anyway.
He was like, I wish it happened all over again.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the next day in the lunchroom, this kid Matt Paul, who was like I'm sure he's mellowed out, but he was like just an asshole, just a huge piece of shit. He walks up to Chad and he goes, "Why'd that dumb Jew call you a girl yesterday?"
So they 1-for-1 now?
Yeah.
Dumb Jew. Small girl.
A fucking Holocaust survivor called him a girl.
I mean, like,
Anyway.
somehow you can let it pass.
Honestly,
but like,
How's that not been incorporated to like roast battle yet?
What?
what, Holocaust
Yeah,
survivor?
just like
survivor?
one Holocaust survivor being like trained by a comic.
Yeah,
to go
why aren't they roast battling? That's
Oh.
weird.
Yeah, that is weird. That's the
Just like
weirdest
one
thing
thing.
I've ever
Just
thought
like
about.
training.
You
like
would think they would
Yeah.
want to be calling people gay and making fun of people's dead moms, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
not
they
with
don't
their,
have much time
with
left.
their
I don't
remaining
know.
breaths,
Come
like they
on.
want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to
Could be
shoot
at
the
the-
shit a little.
Yeah.
God, Deb gave us
Yeah.
so many snacks. Okay, so I want
Yeah.
to talk about this. So real quick,
Yeah.
and then we'll wrap up. But you know, this is kind of like a great reminder that like rich people should not speak for poor people. And if you're rich, and if you're especially a rich white woman, shut the fuck up and let people suck and fuck for money because you're not helping them. Anyway,
Ashley.
No,
There's an article from the Cut from 2015. Last month, a group of Hollywood actors, including Meryl Streep, Kate Winslet, Anne Hathaway, and Lena Dunham, signed a Change.org petition urging Amnesty International to reject the proposal to decriminalize sex work. The letter asserted that the human rights organization's reputation would be irreparably tarnished if it adopts a policy that sides with buyers of sex, which it's another thing. They're saying buyers of sex like it's some big evil.
So they're gonna
guy
stop
and
it,
not-
like abstinence.
and not a guy that works in a warehouse. Buyers of sex, pimps, and other exploiters, rather than with the exploited. And there's a great quote in here. So there's a Twitter thread from Lena Dunham. "I signed the petition. I support Amnesty's mission, but I do not believe their proposal protects the exploited or properly punishes the exploiters. I realize I'm not a sex worker or trafficking survivor, but I'm blessed to have a platform that many close to this issue do not." So a bunch of sex workers were mad at Lena Dunham, and then
Wait, were these sex workers that were mad in the States or
I
international?
think this probably both.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can shout at anybody in the world on Twitter.
Yeah, some lady in Bangladesh was like, mind your fucking business. I have 9 kids. But anyway, so shit, this isn't the article. But anyway, something why Anne Hathaway should go away. Not got her. But anyway, so Anne Hathaway was quoted in saying like, "I'm not a sex worker, so I can't really empathize, but I did play one in Les Miserables." And then like she was like, "I've watched videos of like raids of brothels, and I thought like these women were really like dehumanized and abused and stuff. And then the person who wrote the article, I think, was a sex worker. And she was like, I've talked to a lot of Asian American sex workers, and one thing that annoys them is when like white women like shed tears and know how they're feeling.
Because there's no way to. Just the same way why I am a mostly white middle class woman, and I like have said multiple times over the like span of this. Like you have to be somewhat mindful of like what, like you can think that you're doing something heroic and like have a savior complex, but like you have no idea what even if you like read about it, even if you research it, you have no idea like what the experience is of someone, which like to your point, when they're talking about international, like I wasn't even thinking of it in terms of an international context. Like when I think of it just in the States, I'm like, oh, fuck it. It should be legalized. But when I think of it like with all the fucked up shit that happens internationally, I'm like, fuck, maybe it shouldn't be legalized, because if it was legalized,
governments,
like maybe it would just be like completely exploited. So I think there's so many, I think it's just like research it if you can, like talk, like seek out people that are living that life, talk to them.
And these women also like, what the hell was that? These women also like they are doing the right thing. They are kind of looking out for what they think are vulnerable people.
Right.
Well, we all identified the problem, and it's that these women are being dehumanized and exploited, and it's just like different mindsets about going about it. You know, there's the hard tolerance of like it shouldn't be legalized. Let's fucking wipe it off the place.
Yeah,
wipe it off the face of the
Think
earth.
about all the mass shootings that she's preventing by just talking to these guys, and, you know?
Right, and that's why you got to take the flip side of the coin.
Right.
As you're pointing out.
I'm an American hero.
So
I know we have to wrap up.
Who knows how many countless lives
I've
you've
saved with my perfectly symmetrical tits.
Right.
You hear that, everybody?
Yeah. I hope that helps
I
you.
do want to plug my Instagram.
I think it's cool that this was like an anonymous interview, you know, because people are just listening to it and they're like, who is this mystery woman?
Yeah. So my sitch is, if I may plug. So my club was shut down like 2 months ago. So now I'm kind of bouncing between a few, but I think they're all kind of like more, they feel more exclusive. They feel more like parties. Some of them are like VIP treatment.
Right. Could you imagine, by the way, being like a vice cop and being like, I'm a hero. I'm going to bust these prostitutes.
That's what happens. I was in a club and they came
in
and they started taking
sweetheart.
pictures. Yeah, I was just like, you have no idea how fucking hard I work. Like, I have a higher education than you do. And many of the girls in there they're grad students, they're actresses. They went to fucking NYU and Stella Adler, and they're like, oh, fuck you, coming in there.
That's why, don't you love it when you hear about cops like dying?
Sometimes. I mean, I'm kidding. I don't know.
God, come on, that's a joke. Come on, it's a comedy podcast. Hey, we love
Matt,
shout out to one of our
shout out to the boys in blue.
Yeah.
The one of our what?
I was gonna plug Scott's episodes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
What was it? What?
You were plugging your Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Or no, you're saying the club that you worked at got shut down.
So now I'm like kind of bouncing between a few, but I know it's kind of like hard to find these things and like hear about them. So if you're like, hey, I want to like go to a club by myself or with like a bunch of buddies or whatever, you can message me because I'm plugged into a few different clubs and I might be able to help you out. So my Instagram it's like love Leah, and Leah is spelled Lia, like love Leah. So you can follow me and we can message and
LIA.
Yeah. So it's like love.
I'm not gonna
LIA.
follow it, but I'll check it out when my girlfriend's asleep.
Perfect. There's not even anything that like
you only have one
explicit.
follower.
Yeah,
I know. She said it was new.
It's new. Okay.
Yeah, I just set it up like this week.
Yeah, the club just got raided, right?
Yeah. Or I set it up a while ago, but like I didn't start like using it. I don't know. It's waiting to be active, you guys. Right. So
and like one thing we didn't even touch on is like the Tumblr ban and stuff. So like I imagine Instagram is
you were busy being horny trying to look cool in front of the stripper. You bring up the Tumblr ban.
Berries.
Oh man.
Ooh.
You know I love when you spill berries.
Is that an apple?
Guys, we're gonna be teaching a joint workshop. I'm going to be how to manage clients, and Matt's going to be berry work.
Yeah.
How much money?
House mother.
I'm gonna
How much
post
money?
a new photo right now. What?
How much money would we have to pay you to destroy Matt's relationship?
I mean, how weak is your relationship? It depends how much
No,
work
it's
it is.
pretty strong. They're
pretty
very
strong?
they're very much in love, but she's very overbearing.
What? Are you gonna let him talk about your woman like that?
Nah,
he's
she's
just
a little
talking.
over-
He's just talking shit.
She's a little overbearing, and she pegs him.
No, he's just.
She's overbearing when she pegs him.
Mike likes her, and he's just talking shit.
But it would be funny.
Perfect.
It would be funny if she thought that he was cheating on her or something. If she thought he
I
was
mean,
cheating.
like, if that would allow you guys, like, I had a cuck fantasy, you know, when I was with my boyfriend. So if she's
Wait, where
into
he,
that, I'll gladly
where he
fake it
went?
for you.
Wait, who had the cuck fantasy?
I
You
had
did?
the cuck fantasy.
So you cucked him?
No. I wanted to
he
be
wanted
the
to
cuck.
watch.
You wanted to be
him
cucked?
Yeah.
fuck another girl.
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting.
Are you sure you have to go to this show?
Yeah.
Could you just say the same thing to Deb? Could you just repeat that to Deb? Could you? Just kidding.
Are you suggesting that she watches while you fuck Matt? Is that what you're saying?
yeah.
While you
I don't know how to bring it
while you
up.
peg Matt?
Yeah, I don't know.
How do you
Not
broach the
even,
subject? Yeah.
not even with your own dick,
I'm
with
gonna
a peg.
No. I'm
It's a
gonna
power move.
I'm gonna peg
Hey,
Matt.
Logan, he promises not to get
Can
hard.
you guys let me get a fucking joke out, both of you? Jesus Christ. I'm gonna peg Matt, but with my hard dick. There we go. Bad timing. Thanks.
Yeah, we kill that for you.
You could-
We're just
you could
having
have
a little party over here.
Yeah.
You could
All
have.
right,
the
I gotta go.
hand
Why
I
don't you
dick.
guys
officially gotta
start?
go.
All right. Well, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Love Leah on Instagram.
LIA.
Check her out. If
Thanks
you
for doing
guys-
the show.
Thank
Yeah,
you
thanks for
guys for
having
having
us.
me.
Thanks for. I also, my fantasy is someday I'm going to live on an armed compound with just a bunch of dogs and armed women.
Perfect.
Yeah, I could probably do that, right?
That's sexy.
Thanks.
I just posted a new photo, you guys. So it's a
Of
pretty
us?
good one. Yeah. I just posted a photo to my sexy
Wait,
Instagram
I
of
wanna
Mike.
sit
in
up-
his
You
jeans.
could put that video on that IG stories, right?
What? Oh, yeah. Yeah, but like no one would really care. I don't know. Yeah, I probably
True.
could.
Anyway,
I'll
I
probably do
want
that.
to. You didn't even give me a chance to sit up straight. I'm going to look fat as shit.
wait, I accidentally took a video. Yeah, I can do like a picture. Well, we'll take it after
Don't
we
get
get
my,
done.
don't get my
yeah,
legs.
okay.
Don't get my legs in the photo. All right.
All right.
Guys, thank you very much for listening. Support us on Patreon. I don't know if we're searchable on Patreon. Hopefully we got that bug worked out. But if you can support
If
us,
not,
patreon.com/shitdownpod. We have premium episodes every week, an episode a week. I think sometimes those premium episodes are more fun than
And there's
these.
41 of them now.
There's 41 of them now. So all
Holy
you
fuck.
can backlog. You know what you can do? You can make a montage of me talking about sex with children and send it to the FBI just for fun. I've made so many pedophile jokes that I'm sure you could do that. So support us. If not, please email us sitdownpod@gmail.com.
And rate us 5 stars on iTunes and review.
Rate us. That's pretty cool. Yeah, rate us on iTunes. That'd be nice. We got a nice little hefty thing of reviews. So, guys, if you keep listening to the show, we'll keep making them. All right. God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye.